If you're a makeup wearer and you like brushes, this is for you. Hi guys, I'm Andrea, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about brushes and the importance of having good brushes and actually having something that fits your needs instead of just a random, number of brushes that really don't suit your face or your needs or whatever you want to achieve with your makeup. So I'm trying a different thing on my phone. Let me know if you like this one or if you like the kind of like the blurred background. I'm trying to see kind of like what works best. I'm gonna actually demonstrate the brushes as I put my makeup on, so that way you can kind of see what works and how do they actually work, and then instead of just me talking about it and all that. So I'm gonna do a powder foundation today. I have a sunscreen on already, and I used the Nambuzi number 3, the tone up. For the what I'm gonna use today, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. powder foundation because my face is still dry and I need something that's not gonna make the flakes appear too much. So a powder foundation for me works the best on that, instead of putting a liquid and trying to buff it in and getting it all, like moving the flakes with dampness and all that. So to me, this one works the best. So what I found is, after years of wearing makeup, is that this brush is the absolute best from what I've tried for powder foundation. It is big. It's a 105 from BK Beauty, Lisa's line, and it's a big, really big brush. It's not too dense, nor is it too fluffy. It gives enough, but you can see that like it's really dense up. It's got a lot of hairs, not dense. It's got a lot of hairs, and it's really doing a good job buffing your makeup in, the powder in, and giving you coverage, but also not looking cakey. I've tried different ones, much more expensive than this, and this one so far does really good. I'm gonna just go into the e.l.f. just because this one is more moisturizing, and it's definitely gonna help to achieve what I actually want to achieve, which is some coverage and not too much disturbing the skin. So I'm gonna go like this. I usually need mostly coverage in the middle of my face, but of course I have pimples, new and old, and I like to kind of cover the intensity. Now, where you hold the brush matters. So if you want more coverage and be more precise, you hold it up here. If you want less coverage, you go up here, because you apply less pressure, hence less product. It just kind of goes on top. But I do usually like a lot of coverage if I'm gonna take the time to do that. Yeah, so okay, now that that is done, I do want to go underneath my eyes and kind of help these spots here. And I'm gonna use the same, powder, but I want a brush that is more condensed, more dense, that will actually just put the coverage exactly where I want it. So for that, I use one of the two. So I like these two, both of them. I'll do one and one each eye. This is from BK Beauty with Angie Hot and Flashy collaboration, and it's the A506. And even though they're not targeted, even though I'm using it for powder foundation, it's not necessarily that you only have to use it for liquid. So I'm gonna use it for powder. And then this one is from Fitglow Beauty. They're both quite, this one is denser, I said, but the shapes are definitely different. Like this one is quite slanted, and this one is like a wedge. And then this one is double-sided, so it's got a flat side. This one is just normal. So I'm gonna use this one on this side, and just I'm gonna pick up the brush, just tap it off, and then just go underneath, just to kind of focus the coverage there. And on top, because I do like to put my foundation on top too, to kind of level up the coverage and give myself a nice canvas to work my eyeshadow on. That's what it looks like now. And then I'm gonna take the same and just like go on the pimple side. And I know that also here, because I definitely need to have something small enough to get in that crevice there. It forms a line, and if it's not blended properly, it just stays there. Okay. Let's do this one. A little more. Definitely did not cover it all, but also that is from the coverage of this foundation as well. And then I'm gonna take this Fitglow Beauty on the other side so that we can actually see the difference. I feel like this one left more of a texture on under my eye. Like it's not blending it properly. Okay. I feel like this one did better. And then I'm just gonna take the same one for, actually I'm gonna take the other side because it's flat and smaller, so I can target it right here. Let's see this. You could use your concealer if that's what you wanted to use. It's really not, it's for whatever it is that you need, you know. Better, just not quite what I needed. So I'm just gonna take these and kind of go over just to work on the sides too from the pimples, so I don't just have that concentrated over there. It's kind of all throughout. Okay, now for liquid foundation, what I found that I like the best are these two. Though if I were to pick, I would definitely pick this one from Fitglow. Should tell you what it is. This is the Biki Beauty in 101 with the slanted side. But I find that when I put the foundation, liquid foundation with this one, the tip seems to bend a little too much, and it's not really getting where I need it to go. So I have to kind of use just the lower half part of the brush because it's like stamping it nicely and kind of blending it there, to where this one kind of like makes it go too back. It moves too back, and it's just not offering that coverage that I want. To where this one, even though it's kind of the same, it doesn't really go that far back like this one does. Maybe because it's like longer and it's like not having a lot of structure back there because it's longer, of course, and it's like shorter. But I find that this one actually does amazing. Both of them do, but I do prefer this one if I were to pick. Now, if this is dirty, I definitely use this one. If I want a brush, because most of the times I do use my fingers for that, but there are times where I don't want to bother with fingers, and some foundations do work better with brushes than the fingers, so that's when I'll do these. And if this one is available, I'll pick this one first. So the price of these brushes are, Fitglow Beauty is a little less expensive than the Biki Beauty. Also there's coupons, so they can kind of go back and forth, but also Fitglow Beauty, like I'm going to show you next, they have like the eye one, they have like two, it's double-ended. So if you prefer double-ended, you'll just, you know, for two brushes, definitely you pay less. They're like upper 20s, Fitglow Beauty, and then up to mid 30s. And then BK Beauty are definitely 30s to mid 30s. I think it's like 36, one of them. But yeah, like I said, it all depends too about the how many coupons you get and what the time of the year is and what they have planning on. So moving on, I do like to put a bronzer on. I'm not too much about contour. I have it in the palette here, and sometimes I do use it if I really want to take the time and I really want to do something, but most of the times it's just like quick. So for that, I found that a brush that is not too dense nor too loose, it does the best. And something that's like smaller like this one, just showing comparison of the brush, the foundation brush, the powder foundation, it's much smaller. So this is what I found that works the best. I do sometimes use this one too. This is from e.l.f. It's a little more fluffy than this one. It could go, it's a flawless face. e.l.f. has good brushes, but yeah, they don't last. So that's another thing with paying more for a brush that's gonna last you longer and you get the experience too, versus the e.l.f. You can get e.l.f., you can get Real Techniques, you can get all kinds of other, I can't remember what the other one is. There's another one that's kind of like Real Techniques, and they're okay and they're good. But if you want like luxury, if you want the feel, if you want the lasting, if you want the experience, a more expensive brush would definitely give you that. So really soft brushes. It's from Fitglow Beauty, and it's the I believe it's the Cheek. It doesn't have the name here. I believe it's the Cheek, but it's double-ended. I use this one for bronzer and I use this one for blush. So it's definitely easy to use. I'm gonna take it on this from this, what's it called, Nudegasm face palette from Charlotte Tilbury, right? Yeah, Charlotte Tilbury. You definitely don't want it to be too dense, because if it's too dense, it picks up too much product. And if it's too loose, then the product goes everywhere and you don't really pick too much. Now, if you're a beginner, a loose brush would probably be the best because you won't pick up much. But definitely like in the middle is where you want to be. I like to go like on the forehead here, side and side, and then up here, like from the middle up. Definitely don't want to go from the middle down, kind of like up here, and then kind of more concentrated on the inside. Same here. This is just for more dimension, for, you know, you don't want everything to be on one blank piece of paper, you know, like a white or whatever color it is. Just want some dimension. Definitely makes your face look much better. And this is for kind of like slimming, and I can get away with this because it's not orange, it's not too light, and it's not shimmery, because I do want to create kind of like you know, like a shade in there, like a shadow that my face is casting, and kind of disguise a little bit of the what's going on here, you know, just a bit. And you want to go underneath your jawline, and then, you know, underneath your chin, just very faintly. You definitely don't want to go too much. I feel like I need just a tiny bit here. If you want to achieve the more slim look and like lifted look, I should say more, don't go up here with your bronzer. I used to do the 3, and that worked, like in the summertime especially. But if I want something that's gonna really make my face look, you know, I definitely stay away from it from here, you know, from here down, I stay away from it. So I just want that part to be kind of lighter. Okay, now, like I don't really have anything else other than the e.l.f. one that I like for bronzer. If you were to do a contour, a small one, like let's see, something like these, that we use would be whether it's this shape or a different shape. You want that contour to stay like really where you put it, and then just blend it with that back and forth. But if you don't do that, then let's move on to some blush. Now I've used this one for quite a bit now, and I'm really liking it. Okay, so for blush, and this is the NARS Orgasm X, yes, kind of corally peachy, a mix in there, really pretty. I like this one for blush. It's slanted, it's not too dense, again, with the denseness. Not too dense, not too loose. It's kind of looser than this side is, but not too much. And then I also really like this one. And this is pretty much, they're kind of the same shape. I'm gonna try to, kind of the same shape, kind of the same denseness, I should say, yes. I can use them interchangeable. I mean, if I have to choose from one or another, I don't know what to choose because they both do the same. They really are the same. Whichever one is clean, that's the one I'll take. And so on. So I'm gonna do one on one side, one on the other side, just so you can see. I should have done that with the bronzer, but oh well. We lost that opportunity. So I'm gonna get this one and just, it picks up enough product and it's really nice and bouncy on the skin. It's soft. It just blends it as you push it in your skin. It just blends it really, really nicely. It doesn't really, doesn't do anything really that would be bad. It's really nice. It's just really nice. Anyway, so let's take the other one. And I'll go on this side. I need a mirror. This one it's got such a, I'm gonna show you. It's like black in there, kind of really gray black. I don't know what they did to the mirror because it's like smoked up and I can't see nothing. So I'm just gonna use this one. All right. If you want to have that lifted look, definitely keep your bronzer, no, your blush, kind of like your bronzer on the corner of your face here. Oh, that was not supposed to go there, this one. I feel like it needs a little bit more. Okay, let's blend this one a bit. I feel like after I put blush on, a lot of the times I don't know if it just goes away or if my face gets a little pink with the movement, because after I'm done with my makeup, it feels like I need to put more on. I need more in here. And definitely go in little by little. You don't want to go in with too much suddenly because then you have to take it off and it's just harder to do that. Okay, I think that's good. Fitglow Beauty here. And I'm not sure if I say this, it's BK collaboration with Angie, Hot and Flashy. It's A507. Both really do a nice job. I've actually even used these slanted ones for bronzer and they work fine, they work really good, but because I want to have a designated one so I don't muddy things up, I do like to keep them separate. So I like to keep it, I like it more for blush than I like it for bronzer, let's say. Okay, now, let's put this aside. There we go. All right. Now, for setting up your makeup, if you were to use liquid makeup, I like the cheap ones. I don't think you need to spend too much money on it. And to tell you, I have these two. This is a bigger one and more fluffy than this one is. This is e.l.f. Highlighting brush, and then this one is Real Techniques. It doesn't say the number. Oh yeah, it's the blush brush, but it's a fluffy brush, and if you were to set your whole whole face of makeup, this one is just doing really nice. It disperses the product really nice. That's what you want. You want something that disperses the product because it's a powder. You don't want it concentrated on one spot, unless you want to bake, which I don't know if baking is a thing anymore. I've never been into baking. But if you are, you definitely want something that's not like this. You want something dense, you know, or you use your little sponge or the square, not the square, the triangle sponges for that. But for people that just like to set their makeup, not bake, these type of brushes, I know this is big and it's like so much more different than this one, but it pretty much achieves the same thing. Now, if you want to target it, then I do suggest a small one like this one, the e.l.f, because then you can target, you can put it exactly what you need and you don't go outside the lines, you know, and that helps you with it. So with that being said, I do like both of them. But yeah, this one is definitely something that I always pick up. It's just pick up to use. It's actually lasted quite a bit. The handle is not moving, but I've had it for like many years now. But it's still lasting. So, you know, score. Okay, now for eyes, I like a multitude of things. Eyes for me are important, and I do like to have nice brushes for that, but I don't use a lot of brushes. I know the the type of brush that I like, and that's what I stick with. So I bought a whole eye brush from MOTD like a couple of years ago, and this one was in there. It's like a little slanted. It's called the Come Through Contour, and I like to use this one for on the crease. And then I also like the Angie Hot and Flashy A504 for like detail. And I also like, where is it? Hold. Price wise, I think that MOTD was the cheapest for the amount of product I got. It was the whole eye makeup ultimate eye or something like that. It came in a pouch with the white and the gold, and there were so many brushes in there, but upon actually using them, I realized that I don't use all of them and that I don't need all of them. So yeah, many, but not many that I can use. Now, the next ones were the Hot and Flashy with BK Beauty collaboration, and then also the Fitglow Beauty. I think you're noticing a theme here with all of them. But the Hot and Flashy ones, there's like 5 of them in there for eyes. I don't really use all of them, so I'm gonna show you like this. I think that with this setting, I don't even need to go there like this, but I'll still do it. But I mean, there's 5 of them, and if you're savvy and you like to use a lot of them, I think these are plenty. I know these are plenty. And it has one for pretty much every need that you have. I haven't really been using this one because I'm not much into shimmers. So this one would be for like building up the shimmer so that it doesn't, you know, fluff everywhere. Because these ones will do that for like shimmer and glimmer, not glimmer, and glitter. That's what this helps. The flat one really helps with it. But I've used it and it does really well. But another thing that I like is the one from Fitglow Beauty, the one with the 2 sides. Actually, they have 2 of them. Well, this one not so much. No, never mind. It's this one. So I like this one from Fitglow Beauty, and it's a double-sided. Yeah, I use this one for concentration on like the lash line underneath and all that, and this one pretty much for the whole eye and then the crease. But I do notice that even when I use this one, I do feel like I would like a small one that is more like tapered like this instead of just kind of dense and all that here. I'm gonna go like this to see the difference. But depending on how many brushes you like to use for your eye look, it's what I would actually recommend you to get. Now, when BK Beauty and Hot and Flashy collaboration came off, they only had the whole set. And that's when I bought mine. And then they came up with individuals. So now that they have individuals, you can actually pick and choose what you like and what you think will be best for you. And yeah, I don't really use this one, and I don't really use this one unless my other ones are dirty and I need something, then I will use this ones. But I mostly use this one, and sometimes this one. And it's good to have one in your collection for the days that you actually have, you know, I have something on this, it's really tickling. Oh, it's bugging me. So yeah, it's nice to have this, you know, for the days that you want to apply something that's like more shimmery or more glitter, holidays and all that, you know, special occasions, Halloween, I don't know. Halloween is coming soon. Not soon enough for my daughter, my oldest one. She just cannot wait for Halloween to come here. But yeah, so with all that being said, all of these brushes that I talked about, and I'm going to show you again the MOTD. The MOTD has this flat one too, and then it has this like the slanted one that I use. It also has, if I can find it, yeah, it has the brow, which actually I use a lot. The brow one, I use it for my eyebrows and then for lining my eye, which is really nice to have. And speaking of which, brows, I do recommend one like these, unless you have a pencil that has the spoolie on the back, because that will definitely make a difference. You definitely want to go ahead and mix your brow product in there so it kind of looks like it's soft, and it gives the brows more of a natural look, unless you like the really out there, you know, which if that's what you like, that's what you should wear. But I like more of a natural look, so I like to just work the spoolie through to kind of soften up. And let's do that now, actually. I have not used this Anastasia Beverly Hills in a long time, so let's just use it now. I'm gonna go into the light one, because I don't remember how it does. And I do like to start at the end to kind of bring it in instead of starting at the top. It's a very small mirror. See how this just kind of makes it look softer, makes it look like it's part of it. And when you do your eyebrows, make sure you don't bring them in too much so that you don't make your eye look closed in and make it look smaller. Kind of, I almost feel like I need to kind of tweeze a little more and kind of have it more open, but I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid to do that and then mess it up. I almost feel like I need more. Okay, and then let's do some eyes. Let's do these. I'm gonna do something really soft, really plain. I have like a purple shirt on, so let's do one eye with one brand and one eye with the other brand. Let's do Fitglow here. Yeah, I'm gonna take these fluffy one and just, I dipped in here, and the light one, it's like taupey, light brown taupey color. What this is good about is this just blends everything really softly. It doesn't really look harsh because it's so much bigger and fluffy, and it just kind of gives it a nice overall look. Okay, but because of that, it really does not define much. So if I want to define in my mirror, I need to definitely go in with a smaller one, which that's where this one comes in play. And that's what I'm gonna do now. With the same color, I'm just gonna take it and just kind of go underneath here, bring it down, and also underneath my lash line. Okay, and then just gonna take a different color. I'm gonna take these, it's like a pink right up here. It's a pink, but it's kind of like sparkly. I'm gonna take it with the small one, but I'm just gonna clean it up a bit. I just dipped one time just to see. I'm gonna start here in the middle because I want to add some lightness. There we go. Now we can see. So mix this up a bit. I'll just bring it up. And just mix until I meet with my other color. Really simple. Really simple. I feel like I need more in the corner there. So I'm taking the same color, the same first color, the taupey one, and just take it on the fluffy part. Just kind of build that up there a bit. Okay. All right, so very simple. I know, very simple, but I wanted it that way. All right, and then I'm gonna take Hot and Flashy, pretty much the similar thing. So I'm gonna take the fluffy one that she has instead of that Fitglow thing and just work it. This seems more soft. Yeah. All right, and then I'm gonna take the small one. Actually, it would be this one compared to the Fitglow in the same color, and just kind of bring it up here out in the corner, condense it there, and then also underneath the lash line, the lower lash line, and the lower lash line there. All right, and now I'm just gonna shake this up at the small one and just taking that pinky shade, just go in the middle like the other side, and more, and then just kind of mix it in there. Almost feels like this one has more. I again feel like I need more build up there, so I'm gonna clean it up. No, I'm gonna do it with the fluffy, yeah. Just picked up a little more with the fluff and just gone up top because I do have hooded eyes and I feel like it gets lost in there. And I'm just building it up, that's all. And make sure they both look the same. Okay, and now, because I do like a lightness in the inner corners, I'm gonna take the small ones that I did, same brush, and I'll just get it in my highlight and just go with the highlight up there. I think it really makes a difference. Makes the eye look a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit here too. Okay, and then for the other side, the one that we used, just kind of clean it up in the wrist here and just put it in here. Now, if you do have a lot of brushes, that's when these ones come in. But because I wanted to show you how this look in comparison, definitely you can make it work. You know, you don't have to have a lot of brushes. I feel like this one lower has more. So let's work up on this. Take the Fitglow. Yeah. And just kind of make it match. Okay. All right, that's it. Now for highlighting on the face, because I just remembered as I was putting highlight, I usually use my blush brush. So whether it's this one or this one, whatever I'm using is what I'm gonna use. So because I use this one here, I'm gonna do it with this. I usually take just the top part because it's nice and flurry, and I just tap it in there and just go on top. If I want to do that. It does make a difference. It makes it look really nice. It brings more fullness there, you know. And then this one, same thing on this side. Okay. I'm looking for like shadow fallout. There's a little bit of shadow fallout here. Not much on this side actually. More so on this side, but not really noticeable. Okay, and that's about it. But all I can tell you is, do we need anything else to talk about? I think that's about it. But for my Cupid's bow, I usually use my finger and I just go like this, just to bring some luminosity there. But what I was gonna mention is, your fingers are the best tools. If you don't have any brushes and you still want to do makeup, your hands are like the best. You have them there. As long as you clean them before you touch your skin, you should be good. I've done makeup with my finger, my eye makeup with my finger, when I was like really in a rush and I just needed something like quick. I wanted to, you know, look presentable, or I was having an awful day and I wanted to do something real quick to make myself feel better before going somewhere. I've done that. You can do that. It's really easy, really simple. Just you have to practice though. You know, with even with the tools that you have, you still have to practice. It's not gonna be like easy from the beginning unless you've done it for a while. But yeah, your hands are working perfectly. If you use liquid foundation most of the times, you can use your fingers. And the fact that you don't want to, or you don't like the look of it, it's a little different, or the feel of it, it's a little different, but you definitely can use it. You don't have to like buy the brushes. Now, if you want to buy the brushes, that's a little different. So in that case, I hope that this has helped you a little bit to kind of know what to use, when to use, or where to use. Now, if your face is bigger, I have a tiny face, it's small, so my brushes have got to target my face, or it's just gonna go out of place. Now, another thing I do like to do is pinch my brushes. So for example, if you have this brush and you want to target, it's again with the tickle, if you want to target it like underneath your eyes or in like around the nose or something, you can definitely take these, pinch it to where you need it and do that. If you need to do a bronzer and or a contour and you want to target a certain place, you can just, you know, flatten it to where it gets in wherever you need. And I do that a lot, so I don't have to dirty other ones, or if I'm in a rush or the other brushes are, you know, drying and I don't have anything and I want to use something, I pinch it. You know, you just pinch it to what you need. Just make it work, you know, make it work. It's not that big of a deal, really. As long as it works for you, that's what matters, really. So this is it for the brushes. I hope that I helped you with an idea or two. And as time goes by and as we are getting closer to Black Friday and so many sales and so many this and that, I want you to do your homework on what you actually want and what you actually need. So don't go in just because there's sales, you want to buy everything. Do your homework, see what sales there are, and if you really are interested in something or you need something, that's when you buy it. Not just because it's there or just because it's on sale. That doesn't mean you have to buy it. You know what I mean? So yeah, consumerism, it's like quite out there now, and people are buying a lot of stuff, and I don't know if necessarily we need that or not. Yes, you can spoil yourself. Yes, you can get something, but don't just, you know, buy just because they're there or just because it's a sale. Because if you're not gonna use that something, that's when things are expensive. Here's the way I see things. If you're gonna use that product, whether it is makeup, a piece of clothing, furniture, if that's gonna serve the purpose and you're gonna wear it multiple times, multiple times, then that cost goes down with each wear. So it's worth it because you are using it, because you are wearing it, because you are, you know, it's serving a purpose. But if you're not gonna use it but a couple of times or 3 times, and it's gonna sit there in your closet, or it's gonna sit on your makeup you know, table and not being touched because you don't like it, or because you thought it was gonna be something else, it's not working for you, then that's when things are actually expensive. So I try to instill that in my girls, that not just because it's there you want to buy it, just because it's pretty you want to buy it, not just because, you know. So anyways, rant over, do your due diligence and look for things that actually fit you as a person, what you want in your budget. Don't go in depth just because you want to get a makeup item, you know. I'll see you next time.